joining us. I'll give you all just a few minutes to load in before we talk logistics of this particular showcase for our virtual college fair. As a reminder, this presentation and all of the presentations that we are hosting during the College Fair Week are being recorded. They'll be uploaded to our YouTube channel later this month after the week concludes. And as soon as all of you are loaded in, it looks about like that, we'll move over to start with some of our rep presentations. So again, for housekeeping, this presentation is being recorded. It will be available on our website under the College Fair tab and also on our YouTube channel later. All attendees are muted and your video has been disabled, so we cannot see or hear you. If you need to submit questions to any of the reps that are here tonight, please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. We'll either be able to answer those questions live or through the Q&A window. Of course, if you want to make it a little bit easier, you can include the school name of who you're asking your particular question to. Otherwise, multiple reps may respond to your questions. Please complete your post survey. It is not included at the end of this presentation. It is actually in your follow-up email. If you'd like to let us know what other types of presentations or things that you would like to see at the college fair in the future. This is a showcase structure for this particular presentation, which means that it is a rapid fire highlight presentation. Each school will have approximately 6 minutes to present to you. You can take notes of schools that interest you or things that interest you about a particular school. You can collect college rep emails or contact information. And I want to say already a big thank you to all of our reps who are here on time, raring to go to present to you. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it off to our first school, which is Syracuse University.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Camille Kreitz, and I work for Syracuse University, which is located in central New York State, but I am a regional representative based here in Southern California. Next. So, as you can see, we are a traditional college campus based right in the middle of New York State. We're about 5 hours north of New York City and about 5 hours west of Boston. Go ahead. So we are a residential campus. We require students to live on campus their first 2 years. And then junior and senior year, you have the option to live on or off campus. It's a walking campus, so no cars on campus, which is a nice change from Southern California. And we have 4 seasons. So even in the winter, when we have snow, students are still out and about walking around. So it's a vibrant campus all year long. Next slide. So as far as our academics go, we have 10 colleges and we have over 200 majors and 100 minors. When you apply to Syracuse, you apply directly to a college. In many of our colleges, you can apply undecided. You have the opportunity to change your major once you get to campus or to pick up a double major or a minor. We have a very flexible curriculum, and at least half of our students are at least minoring, if not double majoring. We do have a pre-law track, we have a pre-health track, we have ROTC on campus as well, we have an honors program, so lots and lots of opportunities. Students also have the opportunity to study in 2 different colleges, so we don't want to pigeonhole you into one particular college. You have the opportunity to perhaps maybe major in engineering and minor in the College of Visual and Performing Arts or in the College of Arts and Sciences. Next slide, please. So we do really focus on experiential learning. We are a Tier 1 research institute, and we do encourage our students at the undergraduate level to get involved in research. Many of our majors require internships. If they're not required, they're definitely encouraged. And we will assign you a career advisor to help you find those internships. And we also have study abroad. We're a top 10 study abroad school, and at least half of our students are studying abroad every year. So we do encourage that. And then we have 3 off-campus internship semester programs in Washington, D.C., New York City, and Los Angeles. And those are for juniors and seniors in particular. For our study abroad, students can study abroad as early as freshman year all the way up to senior year, just depending on what you want, what you are studying and where you would like to study. And those will help determine what year you can study abroad. You can study for a semester, for a summer program, or even for short-term programs. Next slide. So we have students from all 50 states. California students make up our 4th largest population on campus, and most of those come from Southern California. We also have students from 170 different countries, so very diverse campus in every sense of the word. We have over 300 clubs and organizations. We're a Division I athletics school. We have also club and intramural sports. We have all kinds of political organizations, religious organizations, performance organizations, community service opportunities for our students. So there are tons and tons of things to do while on campus. We have a health and wellness center that just got finished being built about a year ago, so it's brand spanking new because we didn't really use it during COVID. It's a 5-story health and wellness center where we have our health center, our counseling center, and 5 stories of athletic facilities, including a 5-story rock climbing wall, Olympic swimming pool, running track, basketball courts, et cetera, et cetera. We also have a new updated Shine Student Center, which is really the hub of where our students are. It's where our food court is. It's right next to the library. So we've created lots of spaces for students to get together before and after the library, and it's right in the middle of campus. So a great place to hang out with friends. Next slide, please. So as far as the nuts and bolts go, we are, first of all, a private university, and we end up financing between 75 and 80% of our students. This year we are test optional. We're not sure moving forward if we'll continue to be test optional. We are part of the Common App, and as of next year, we'll also join the Coalition App. We do offer merit scholarships, and when you apply to Syracuse, you're automatically considered for merit. So if you do want more information, I'm going to put some things in the chat. So my contact information, as long as other links. And I look forward to meeting you hopefully in person quite soon. And I'll pass it off to my colleague Maria at Rutgers.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria and I'm the Southern California Regional Representative for Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and I'm based here in LA. Next slide. Next slide. So these are a few facts about it's in the top 1% of universities worldwide. Rutgers is a large public research university with over 750 student clubs and organizations and over 100 majors. Similar to Syracuse, we have students from all 50 states, and California is the number 3 feeder state outside of New Jersey. Being a research university, we also have 175 research centers and institutes on campus. Next slide. So here's our location. You can see we're in New Brunswick, New Jersey. There's direct flights from all the major California airports to Newark Airport. And from there, it's just about 20 minutes on the train to our campus. And similarly, again, to Syracuse, you don't need a car on our campus because the public transportation in the New York metro area, including New Brunswick, New Jersey, is really accessible. And there are 3, to answer your question, Tim, there's 3 Rutgers campuses. This is the New Brunswick campus, but there's also one in Newark and one in Camden. New Brunswick is the flagship campus. So Rutgers is actually the state system of New Jersey, similar to the UC system, but with only 3 campuses. Next slide, please. So we have over 37,000 undergraduate students, 24 NCAA Division I sports. Fun fact, the very first college football game in history was played on our campus. Over 80 fraternities and sororities. We also have study abroad in 180 different locations and lots of events going on campus all year round, including philanthropic opportunities. Next slide, please. So when students apply, they can choose to apply to up to 3 of the 7 first-year schools, which are listed in red on the screen. So we have our School of Arts and Sciences, which houses the majority of our majors. We have a pharmacy school, which is a 6-year pharmacy doctorate program. We have a School of Engineering with pretty much any kind of engineering you can think of. Rutgers Business School. We have Mason Gross School of the Arts, which is our arts conservatory, a School of Environmental and Biological Sciences, and a School of Nursing. All of our majors, or all of our schools are direct entry, and we are not impacted. Rutgers is not a liberal arts college. It is a large public research university. However, for students who are interested in liberal arts majors, that would be the School of Arts and Sciences. Next slide, please. So how to apply? We have our own application on our website, and we're also on the Coalition application. If you're not familiar with the Coalition application, it's very similar to the Common App in that students can apply to more than one school at once. Then students will submit their self-reported academic record where they fill out their classes and their grades. Right now, we are test optional. Like Syracuse, it's up in the air for next year, but for seniors this year, we are test optional. We review holistically, so we're looking at grades, coursework, essay, and extracurriculars, and we don't take letters of recommendation, so the student can actually do the entire thing on their own. Our due dates are November 1st for early action and December 1st for regular decision. We don't have a cap on how many out-of-state students we can accept, and we don't review them any differently from in-state students. Also, everyone who applies will be automatically considered for all of our merit-based scholarships. Next slide. That might actually be it. Yeah, that's it. So I'll hand it over to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you. Next slide, please. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Renee D'Onofrio, and I'm with Johnson & Wales University, and I'm also an alum, so I've lived what I'll be sharing with you today. So Johnson & Wales is a private, not-for-profit university, and we were founded over 100 years ago as a business school right in Providence, Rhode Island. Since then, we've grown and incorporated a regional campus in Charlotte, North Carolina. Next slide, please. The great thing about having the two locations is once you're accepted to one, you're actually accepted to both of them. So many of our students do experience life in Providence, and then they'll head down to Charlotte and maybe complete a semester, maybe even stay for the remaining portion of their undergraduate degree program. But each campus, as I mentioned, you can go from one campus to the other. It's the same curriculum, and many of our professors actually rotate between the two different campuses as well. And like the other two locations, we are very much a walkable campus. Providence and Charlotte located right in the center of the city. Right outside our main gates, you'll find restaurants, shops, movie theaters. We have the live performing arts center, and we just found out that Hamilton is coming back. So we're really excited about that for our Providence location. Next slide, please. So Johnson & Wales is, as I mentioned, a private not-for-profit university, and we've grown over the past 100 years. Right now, we have 6 schools and colleges with over 80 majors. You can double major or you can major and minor, but our 6 schools and colleges consist of the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Business, the College of Health and Wellness. We have our College of Engineering. We have our College of Hospitality, which was ranked number 4th in the country. And then we also have our College of Food Innovation and Technology, which has such a wonderful reputation in the food and beverage industry, known worldwide. Tyler Florence is actually one of our chefs in residence this year. So if you ever have watched any of those Food Network stations, Tyler Florence has been always on. He's been a big winner, and he's working with our students this year. So over 80 majors were not impacted, and they are direct entry. The great thing about our curriculum at Johnson & Wales, there's 3 parts that kind of separate us from what you might experience at some of those larger state universities and colleges. The first part of our curriculum, we call it it's upside down. So as an incoming freshman, you start taking classes in your major right from day one. So if you are a biology major, you're taking those biology programs, those biology classes. If you are a health science major, you're in the health science labs. Criminal justice, same thing. Hotel, you take those hotel classes specifically to your major. And then general ed classes roll in junior, senior year. The second part of our curriculum that's a little bit different is we believe in lab-based learning. So the largest class that you'll have in a lab-based environment is 18 students to 1 professor. You'll never be fighting for lab time. You'll be with many of the same students as you progress from freshman up to senior year. So small lab-based classes gives you that hands-on experience. And then the third part of our curriculum is we believe in internships, and a majority of our majors do require maybe 1, but many require 2 internships where you're out of the classroom working in your field of study. We had over 2,100 students participate in an internship last year, and they were done even during the pandemic here in the United States as well as overseas. And the great thing about these internships, 74% of our students that participate in a paid internship actually have a job offer from that company prior to graduation. So many of our students know what they're doing even before they walk across the stage to receive their diploma. And another great factor about Johnson & Wales, 97.7% of our students know what they're doing, whether they're going to work, going on to grad school, or maybe even starting their own business. So we really are setting you up to be successful right from day one. Not only do you have an academic advisor, you have a career advisor. So they make sure that you're in touch with those companies that are coming on campus to recruit our students. Next slide, please. And again, it's that whole learning by doing, that hands-on experience. Next slide, please. Now we realize college is not just about going to class all day. We need to kick back and let loose and enjoy the environment, enjoy the location where we are. We have over 10,000 students, 7,000 in Providence, over 3,000 in Charlotte. We are part of the NCAA. We're a Division III team. Many students actually from the Orange County area participate on our women's volleyball. We've got some on our baseball team and a few other sports here and there. You can study abroad as early as freshman year. And actually your merit scholarships, which we'll talk about in a little bit, will actually cover the cost of some of those study abroad fees. We have sororities and fraternities. And like a lot of the other colleges, we do have a 2-year requirement that you can live on campus. And we have a variety of living accommodations from traditional dormitories to suite style to apartments overlooking the harbor. And you'll be with good company no matter where you go in the world. We have over 117,000 alum. So there's always someone from Johnson & Wales who can be with you to talk about their experiences. Next slide, please. So how can we help you afford college and make it easy to attain that degree? The first step is the merit scholarships. Our scholarships are renewable all 4 years, and they range from $7,000 to $23,500. We also offer the California scholarship. So if you're a California resident, follow that California prep curriculum, that college prep curriculum, the A through G, and have a 3.0 or higher GPA, you'll get an extra $5,000, and that too is renewable all 4 years. We work with the National Student Organization scholarships. They're automatic and also renewable. We ask that on the application, so be sure you check that off. The outside scholarships, send us as many as you receive and we'll get those applied towards your balance. And then send in your FAFSA, because not only does the government allow those grants, Johnson & Wales offers their own grant money when all is said and done. Now there's no fee to apply to Johnson & Wales. Our early action deadline is November 1st and our traditional deadline is March 1st. So I encourage you to come and visit. You can scan this QR code to check out our virtual events. We have many live on-campus events as well. You can chat with a professor or a current student, chat with our athletics, but come and check us out. I think it's a great opportunity for California students to experience 4 seasons on the East Coast. Thanks again for your time. And next up, we have New Hampshire, University of New Hampshire.
Thank you, Renee. Hi, everyone. This is Nian Quach, and I'm the admission counselor from the University of New Hampshire. So UNH is a flagship public Tier 1 research university for the state of New Hampshire. Now, there are many reasons why California students choose to attend UNH, but for tonight, I highlight a top few reasons for you, and they include our academics, our community, and our location. So I'll start by talking about our academics. Next slide, please. Perfect. So UNH offer over 100 different majors for you to choose from. And one of the things that I think distinguish UNH in our learning experience is our focus on research, okay? And research go beyond STEM, right? Research is really asking questions and then searching for the answer. So regardless of the student major, you are encouraged, and I think more importantly, have the opportunity to do research through your 4-year with us. And at UNH, you do so at a top tier research university, right? We're one of just 20 land, sea, and space grant institutions in the country, and one of the 3 public Tier 1 research universities in New England. So that's set up pretty unique, especially if you are looking at the New England region. Next, please. So Here are the 5 colleges within the University of New Hampshire. All the programs at UNH are direct entry, including nursing, all the engineering program, our computer science, life sciences, and our business school. We also have unique programs such as equine study, and some of the most popular programs include marine biology, as well as the biomedical sciences. All programs, again, are direct entry. They are all test optional, and none of them are impacted at the University of New Hampshire. Next, please. So the second aspect of UNH I want to highlight for you is our community. So we currently have around 13,000 undergraduate students and 15,000 overall. So this means for you that we are big enough to offer you that diverse experiences and opportunity that you want, but still have that tight-knit and personal supportive community and connection to your faculty and your classmates. And of course, adding on top a lot of school spirit, the best of both worlds, as I like to say. And next, you can see from, oh, I'm missing a slide there. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Yes, let's go to the location. As you know, location is a big draw for our students. We are now in north of Boston. We're now an hour and a half from the majestic White Mountains and a short 20 minutes from the Atlantic Ocean. We are literally in the middle of everywhere. And so whether it's grabbing a coffee in Durham, going to the beach, on the Atlantic, or going skiing in the majestic White Mountain, or head to Boston, an hour away for an internship, to shop, to go to the Red Sox or Celtic game with friends. And you know what? Our Durham campus is really easy to get to from California. There are direct flight daily from all major airports, including John Wayne, directly to Boston. And since we are only an hour north of Boston, there's really easy access to and from the airport, to campus, which you can access either by bus or by the Amtrak train, which stop right on campus from TD Garden. And if you are wondering what people do in New Hampshire, I got you. Our students actually keep very busy on and off campus throughout the week, as well as on the weekend, from going to a Division I athletic event, football, hockey, to, concert, participating in, one of our 250 student club, many different events, or simply exploring the area around campus. Tons and tons of things to do. We are a Common App school. Our early action deadline is November 15th, same day every year, and we have the regular decision deadline of February 1st. And next slide. I would like to wrap up the presentation with the story of Charlie Neesham, who graduated UNH back in May of 2020. Not only is he a UNH Wildcat, he is also one of SpaceX's newest engineer. One of my favorite parts of Charlie's story was his quote on how life is about the moment. So one of the big moments for Charlie was deciding to major in mechanical engineering with a focus on aerospace at UNH during his freshman year. The other big moment was being a part of our UNH robotic team and meeting Elon Musk when the team was competing at a national competition. So with that, whatever the moment will be for you, I hope that UNH get a chance to help you prepare for it, just like we did for Charlie, and take it and allow him to, go on to become a member of the SpaceX team. So I'll share my information in the chat, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Capistrano Unified. Hello, my name is Ed Devine. I represent Xavier University of Cincinnati, Ohio. I work with all of our students from the West Coast, had resided in Southern California for the past 20 years, but now call Hawaii home and still get to come up there and visit with you. We'll click to the next slide to learn a little bit more about Xavier. Again, my contact information is here. A beautiful shot of our castle on campus that was made in the image of a castle in Spain by Xavier, our namesake. So you will get to go to college with a castle, maybe in the castle actually. We'll go to the next slide. I want to talk a little bit about Cincinnati, knowing that the location of a school is a great way to pick that school. That's not Cincinnati. We'll go one more slide. Here's some great shots of Cincinnati, Ohio. It's been recently named the #1 college for recent college graduates. A fun ranking done by Smart Asset that looked at fun things to do, access to jobs and internships, and affordability. So a much different look when you come to affordability than perhaps Southern California. So many of our graduates actually might stick around for a year or two just to test the job market and get their feet under them after they graduate. We are home to 3 professional sports teams, many minor league teams. We love to celebrate food and culture. We just recently completed the world's second largest Oktoberfest, the second largest outside of Munich, Germany. And so a lot of festivals that take place throughout the rest of the year. Some great things to do in Cincinnati. One of my favorite student activities in the lower left, that's the Ohio River. And we cruise up and down the river on a riverboat and have a dancing night out under the stars. You get to see some beautiful views of Cincinnati and really enjoy your classmates in a bonding experience that's a lot of fun. We'll take a look at the next slide and talk about studying at Xavier University. We are home to 4 colleges, so universities are broken up into colleges. We have 4, the College of Arts and Science, our College of Nursing, we have the Williams College of Business, and the College of Professional Studies. Some big majors that we're known for, students will seek us out for, our nursing program, anything in the biomedical sciences like pre-med. We do have very strong business programs that would include sports management and sports marketing. Right on the heels of that, I will mention our data science management. A lot of students apply that data science management as a minor to any different major, but it works particularly well with sports management. And we do host over 90 programs of study. Many of our students come in with ideas, and you will work closely with advisors throughout that sophomore year to pick that final major. Our students are very engaged. They love to be active in study abroad and community service, and really research opportunities abound on campus. Our teachers love to teach at the smaller school. We are 5,300 undergraduates, about 1,800 graduate students. So really our teachers and our facilities are there for the undergraduate student. We'll take a click to the next slide and take a look at your classmates that will be joining you when you come to Xavier. And we love our classmates. We love our setting on campus there in Cincinnati, a self-contained campus. Usually more than 60% of our students in a given class come from outside the state of Ohio. 24% of our students are students of color. Last year's class had 19% who were the first in their family to go to school. We are a Jesuit faith-based education, but we do welcome over 24 different faiths in our student population, 18 in last year's class. But one of my favorite statistics about Xavier students, 40% are the only one from their high school. So Musketeers, that's our mascot. They're adventure seekers. They love the challenge of going out and creating new community. But we do provide a lot of support for you to do that. We are committed to your success. Each student entering Xavier will get a 6-member coaching staff to help you navigate and transition into college life. I will get to work with you through the admission and financial aid process. We can meet regularly throughout the process. But quickly after you claim Xavier as your spot, we will transition you to work with a success coach. And their job is to help you land on our campus. So they work with you actually before you get there, but land on our campus, get involved, map out the 4 years, think about majors, study abroad, research, and internship opportunities. They'll work closely with a peer mentor, an upperclassman who has volunteered to help you in that transition. And then we will quickly move you to work with your professional and career coaches, 2 people that will help you set up internships and then eventually job opportunities. 98% of Xavier grads are placed or in graduate school within a few short months after graduation. We'll click to the next slide and take a look at the admissions process. I'll just talk about that one, go back one more. We are in the common application. We are test optional, started that in 2018. We will continue with that. The only idea is to perhaps bring testing back for our nursing majors. That will be determined in the future years. Our priority deadline is December 1st. We do have a lot of great opportunities for merit-based scholarship and university grants. So try to meet those December 1st deadlines to qualify for the most amount that you can. I will put my contact information into the chat. Always happy to meet with you virtually. We have maintained and kept campus open for the past 2 years, but many of our West Coast students have done virtual meetings. Happy to meet with you, take you on a campus tour, and get you acclimated to Cincinnati and to Xavier. Now I'm going to turn it over to Alexandra from AMDA College of Performing Arts. Alexandra.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Alexandra. You can go to the first slide. All right, that's me. I'm an alumni of AMDA College of the Performing Arts. We are located in New York, but we are also located in Los Angeles. I'm one of the outreach advisors, and you can move on to the next slide. Great. So we are located, like I said, in New York. So I'm going to talk really quick about New York since this is the East Coast schools here. It's a 2-year conservatory program. You can major in acting, dance, or musical theater, or acting for film and television and movies and such. This program is really structured for 2 years for students that want to learn about their craft in a shorter period of time. It's a conservatory style, so you get a certificate upon completion, but we also have 4-year degrees in Los Angeles. So if you're looking for a BFA, a BA, and we also have a master's program that would be offered in LA. Okay, move on to the next one. Okay, so our programs. Also, what's really unique about our campus in New York and our campus in Los Angeles is that we allow our students to experience both. That's one of our really unique things we offer at AMDA, and it's called the 2 for 2. So you can study in New York for 2 years as a conservatory style student, and then you can jump over to LA and graduate 2 years and get your BFA. Another way to experience the New York and the LA campus is that you could start as a 4-year student in LA, so it would be one of our BFA programs. And we allow 3rd semesters to experience New York for a whole semester, and you would jump back over to LA and finish your remainder semesters in Los Angeles. So the catch pretty much to experience both is to graduate in Los Angeles. So again, you have a 2 for 2. You can start in New York for 2 years, jump over to LA for 2 years and complete with a BFA. Or you could start in Los Angeles and experience 3rd semester in New York, or you could do all 4 years in LA and get your BFA. We also offer associates programs in our Los Angeles campus, and those are in acting, musical theater, and dance. This is really a good program for those that just want a 2-year program, but they also want a degree. So it's similar to an associate's. It's an occupational studies degree. And the certificate conservatory is what we offer in New York. So that's studio acting, acting for camera, integrated, which would be musical theater, and then we have dance theater. And then if you're interested in your BA, theater arts, that's offered in Los Angeles. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, auditions. Yes, yes. So for us, you have to audition to be accepted into Los Angeles or the New York campus. It's one of our first steps for your application process. So the audition requirements, really quick. So the umbrella of the dance department, you would come in and audition for the dance department with a 90-second solo choreographed by yourself, a friend, a teacher, mentor, that in a style that shows you off the best. If you are one of those that have tap in your back pocket or, are very familiar with hip hop, bring those with you as well. But you also want to show a dance style that shows you off the best in technique. If you're auditioning for the world of musical theater at AMDA, you would come prepared with a 32-bar cut song and a contrasting monologue. And for the world of acting, you would come with 2 contrasting monologues. So choosing the best audition material kind of can be tricky. We really want to see students that have material from published plays. We're also looking at material from TV, film, but anything that we really want to see that you know what you're talking about, you're memorized, obviously, and that you are flexible in the room. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We also want it to be age appropriate when we're looking at songs and monologues. Preparing for your audition, like I said, you definitely want to be familiar with your content, your material. You don't want to be reading your lines off to the screen. We totally can tell. So you just want to be as very prepared as you can be and show your best self. That's kind of similar on how you can own your audition. And what adjudicators are looking for are all those 3 things. Okay, we can move on to the next slide. All right, so scholarships, yes. So when you audition for us, we automatically consider you for a scholarship. So there's nothing extra you need to do on your end. The first step would be apply online and sign up for either a virtual or in-person audition. We have auditions at our LA campus coming up in October 30th and then in November. You can find the New York ones online as well, but we give out scholarships quite often. So we have about 14 million in scholarships each year. They range between 15 to 60,000 students. And then when we look at you, we look at you first and foremost talent-based and then merit-based and financially as a whole. All right, next slide. Okay, so this is why AMDA to me stands out, you know, that 2-for-2 option that we offer. I think, you know, those are the two prime cities you want to be for this industry. It cuts your time in half when you're considering to moving those parts upon graduating. So it's really important to study and really immerse yourself in that culture of where you want to be and see yourself when you graduate. So you're already in those places. You know, our school is a very hands-on program. We teach our students more practical advice than so much theory. We really teach them how to audition like the back of their hand, but not to just master that one audition, but how to make this a career, how to be a well-rounded entrepreneur. You know, we have phenomenal faculty that are all working professionals in this industry. So you're learning from firsthand experience from those people and what they're learning outside in the real world. That's my time. And third is performance opportunities. I would say that the school really is hands-on, immersed with performing. It's not a school where you wait 2 years to perform on stage. It's from day one. So those are the three things to me that make AMDA stand out. And I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to all of the reps who were joining us this evening. We are actually doing fantastic on time. So if there are any families who'd like to ask additional questions, please feel free to use this time to put them in the Q&A function below, and we'll make sure that we're able to answer those. I have just a counselor question for all of the reps that are joining us tonight. And it is definitely a projected question. So often we have families that are joining us that are current sophomores, freshmen, even 8th graders in some instances. For our juniors in particular who might be joining in this evening, is there a projected time when we should expect to know more about your testing policies for their particular class? And anything that you're able to share with us is super, super helpful.
I'll chime in, since Syracuse is one of the schools that hasn't made up their mind about next year yet. We are hoping by early spring, because by that time we will have been well into our second season of reading as test optional. So I'm hoping by February or March, we will definitely know one way or the other.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Camille. I really appreciate that.
And I'll chime in for Xavier. We have done it for this senior class and for the junior class. And then we will look towards recommendations and try to give students a year to year and a half advance notice in preparation. Again, we have seen some faculty, like in nursing, there's correlation to your standardized tests and passing the national exams. We do want to get some more information from folks like that. Also for our counselors preparing students for graduate school, the LSAT, the MCATs, things of that nature. Just looking towards what we've learned and what we do learn from how students progress on those tests. We will wait to assess that, but right now for seniors and juniors, we are test optional.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ed.
This is Renee with Johnson & Wales. We are a test optional university. However, to participate in our honors program, we will be bringing back the SAT or ACT requirement, probably starting for next fall.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Renee. That definitely helps us as counselors know how to advise students the most appropriately. And I'm sure for some of our students that are listening, it can help them make some decisions as well about their testing plan. Abby, thank you so much for your question in the Q&A. Was this for any particular university or for any university who's here with us this evening?
Kristen, I can jump in on that. We did just come back from our national conference, and it's a great question, Abby, that you're asking. It's going to be different for different schools, but to find out the percentage of students admitted who submitted versus that didn't, it will be very different by school. So early indication might be that schools that are heavy in STEM, engineering in particular, might favor the students who had submitted testing, but it's a fair game question for you to ask. Where do I fall? A lot of times you'll look at that mid 50%, what we report for our mid 50% test range. And if you sit high in that or above it, it's okay to submit. If you sit below that or lower than that, then probably you won't submit that. But that is a data point that schools and colleges and universities are starting to gather and for the first time unpack. So the percentage of admitted who submitted versus not should be arguably kind of in a 50-50 range, but it doesn't always work out that way. So one of the new things you're going to ask is, should I submit or should I not? And a lot of times your counselors will be the best guide with that. Probably anybody here would be happy to meet with you and answer that question. I know I would. If you call me and say, should I submit this test to Xavier? I'd happily answer that question before you apply.
Thank you so much, Ed. And I'll say, Abby, we're going to be talking a lot more about testing specifics tomorrow in our breakout session about why test in a test optional landscape. I have seen the presentation for tomorrow in a sneak peek, and I know that there will be a lot of statistics about the current testing landscape and some schools that have already publicly published that data for their school. So if you're really interested in learning more about that, we'll definitely have a session tomorrow. If there are no further specific questions for any of our reps, I just want to say thank you to all of you again for being here to present with us this evening. This presentation will be uploaded to our YouTube channel and to our website at the end of the week as we conclude the fair. But we're so thankful for your partnership and for all of the work that we get to do together. So have a wonderful night, Capo. We'll see you at our next showcase that starts promptly at 7. And if there's anything else that our team can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thanks.
Thank you.